In today's video, I'm going to hopefully save you years of your life and frustration. And I want to talk about why most photographers end up shooting the wrong images. And this is for commercial photographers and professional photographers, or those wanting to be, not for hobbyists. As a hobbyist, you cannot take the wrong image. You know, just do whatever makes you happy. If you enjoy it, do it. Good times. However, if you're a professional, there are a few things that you can sort of end up tripping up over. Now let's take a very general example here and let's take some broad sweeping statements. As a photographer, you probably buy your camera. You then might head on to some camera forums, some photography forums, and some websites. If you're into photographing people, you might head to Model Mayhem or Purpleport, or some landscape photography websites, or perhaps some sort of photography news websites. And maybe if you're a sociable person, which I'm not, you might join a camera club and you'll do camera club related photography. Now, these are all great for the hobbyist. These are brilliant. These are exactly what you want to do. They're fun, they're exciting. There's no real rules. You just do what you want. However, if you want to be a professional, there is nothing in these channels in terms of, let's say channels, not like YouTube channels, but like channels of photography and creativity that is actually going to get you paid work, or at least not the kind of paid work that's a sustainable business. And here's why. The work produced in these websites is all to do with marketing. And even at the most basic level, as a camera club, you're wanting to go to the camera club. This YouTube channel, for example, I'm wanting you to come to my YouTube channel or to my website. A photography website might have brands advertising on it who want you to buy a certain bit of kit that does something. Now, the thing this kit does might have absolutely no bearing on the commercial photography world, but they want you to buy it. And you'll see adverts of women being photographed by new lighting kits, and the way they're photographed, they're like, oh, it's fashion lighting. It is not fashion lighting. There's no such thing as fashion lighting to start with, but it's certainly not fashion photography. You might get on the front page of one of these model websites with a picture of somebody thinking, this is fashion photography. It is not. The same for food. You might think, great, I'm on this website for food photography. That is not the commercially viable food photography. Now, the problem is that this is the channel that most of us come into, and I went down this rabbit hole and I spent ages trying to do these things. I was like, well, I've got it all perfect. It's all looking exactly like it should do for this sort of work. Why am I not getting signed by anybody? Why am I not getting hired by anybody big? And it wasn't until I sort of went, well, hang on a minute. I don't see any of this work out there in the public. I don't see it on billboards. I don't see it in the shops. I don't see it on TV. Why is that? Oh, there's this whole other world. There are these agents. There are these creative agencies, art buyers, who are all looking for something very different. And working out what that is very difficult. And I've done a whole video on where I go to look at these things. I'll try and make it do that thing where it spins up on the top bit here. I'm not so good at it though, so probably not, but you'll be able to find it on my channel anyway. And this is the sort of work you should be aiming for. This is what you should be looking at doing. And it is so easy to fall down the rabbit hole of gear acquisition syndrome, where you're just going, oh, I need to read that review. There's a new mirrorless camera. And all these people stressing over buying whether they should buy a mirrorless camera or not. No, you shouldn't. It really doesn't matter. It makes no difference. You know, your camera will work fine. Up until a few years ago, someone was slamming a doorbell there. Up until a few years ago, I was still shooting on a 5D Mark II with a 200-pound lens, and I was shooting campaigns for 15, 20,000. And nobody batted an eyelid, because most of the time we rent the kit. If we have a really big job coming in, we'll rent a Phase One or a Hasselblad. We'll rent the Broncolor lights, or whatever it is, the big brand that we need for that stuff. So why is it that photographers photograph the wrong things? And it is simply because the pathway that we have into this industry, if we don't come from a college for photography, which is a good one, it takes us through all of these winding paths of things that have no place in professional photography. And they don't intend to, they're not supposed to. The modeling sites are for hobbyists. The camera clubs are for hobbyists. And the problem is that people like myself who want to be professionals, we go down that route because we don't know any better. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what a creative director did. I didn't know what an art buyer was. And I didn't even know that photographers had agents. This stuff was all completely alien to me. So I fell for these traps, and it wasn't anyone trying to catch me out or rip me off. It was just a simple case that I didn't know better. So hopefully with this advice, you can save yourselves the time and the frustration and the not understanding why you're not making it as a professional photographer that I had to go through, and sort of jump ahead and get to that sort of way that you're shooting in a way which actually will get you paid work. It will actually get you booked. It'll get you noticed by the right people, not by 50,000 Instagram followers, but by 2 art buyers. And that's really what we're aiming for as professional, especially commercially professional photographers. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to do loads more content about this sort of thing and sort of help you all avoid the pitfalls that I had, because I'm a self-taught photographer and I wasted a lot of time doing the wrong things. A lot of time. I could have been where I am today 5 years ago had I have not wasted the time, had I been able to find the information I needed that just didn't seem to be out there. So do hit subscribe if that's what you're looking for, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.